Is Moneybagg Yo leaving CMG? Is that the reason why he sold all of his chains, man? Watch this whole video to find out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, comment, let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of. Let's go. So Moneybagg Yo, you already know as of last year, he moved out of Memphis. He already moved out of Memphis because he has to keep the distance from CMG. He's wrapped up in this whole thing. If he never had that Bentley show up in front of the cookie shop where Dolph was, it wouldn't have been too much of an issue. But the thing is that he already knows that it's people snatching chains in Memphis for get back. And so with OG Bangwayne out there, man, Big Moochie Grape just got his chain snatched. Lil Migo just got his chain snatched. So people are looking at it like, okay, yeah, Moneybagg Yo is selling all of them chains to get his bread back. But he knows at the end of the day that he's not going to be able to get 100% of the value back from it. Because the way it works is that even if he took his chains and diamonds and everything to Johnny Dang, he's only going to get the actual value of the metal itself. He's not going to pay the tax. Like, they tax the rappers way more, $100,000 over an extra. And so now it's like he's just getting what he can out of it because he doesn't want somebody to come up and run up on him and try him like how Lil Migo got smacked and they try to grab his chain, and just like how it happened to a lot of other people, and Big 30's watching out too, because he knows at the end of the day that Moneybagg Yo and Big 30 and all of them, they can't get no more protection from Yo Gotti. Because the person who's in charge of all the protection in CMG is Big Jook. And he's the guy right now who's been talking to the feds for the last 3 months, giving information and details on everything that's been going on with CMG. So that goes to show you guys that even when a lot of people say, oh, they're going to have loyalty and be part of the crew and do a lot of things for you, at the end of the day, people will do the stuff so that they could be accepted and be cool. But then when things hit the fan, just like how Big Jook and Yo Gotti had the whole situation where they started telling, and the loyalty disintegrated from that. And so what y'all got to understand is that you still can't trust people. Like, in this day and age, people will do stuff to be cool and because it's fun and everything like that. Because it was cool for Big Jook to be doing all the dirty work for him. It was fun, right? But then when it comes to them getting caught up and the feds coming in and interrogating and sweeping, then they started telling and answering all their questions, and everything that they said that they was going to do, where they was going to take the fall for each other and all that, it got thrown out the window because Big Jook doesn't want to have to do 50 years for something that was all over, his brother's beef and stuff like that. And so what y'all got to understand is basically how you got to open your eyes and look at the facts that even if they brothers and everything like that, whatever they did in the streets, they know that they don't want to sit down and do the time for it. And so that's why he should have never even been around or even involved himself into anything, whether they did anything or they didn't do nothing. They shouldn't have even been in a situation where people was thinking that they the ones that did it, because they're the ones that had the beef with Young Dolph and everything like that. And so when people is getting justice for Dolph, they looking at, okay, well, he had problems with these people and look at this Bentley driving by, so it's got to be them watching him and everything like that. And so that's why a lot of people was quick to look at, okay, yeah, these guys have had beef for a long time and this is why everything is happening. And that's why Key Glock waiting so patiently, because all the PRE, they know that once everything blows over and the domino effect happens, if CMG falls and just gets all dismembered and everything like that, then they know that they the only people that's going to be at that level in Memphis. And so everything is just going to take off after that. And so they're going to drop as soon as that happens. And they know at the end of the day that it's just waiting for their time to shine, because there's nothing left for them to argue about. There's no need for that. They don't mess with them no more. They no need to actually waste their breath dissing or talking back to anybody from CMG, like Black Youngster, Yo Gotti, or anything, even though Black Youngster still puts out diss songs about Young Dolph and everything like that. And you don't know what Yo Gotti and them are working on. They could be working on diss songs, because that's what people do. That's what rappers do nowadays. That's just the way the game is played, because people don't got no respect for each other nowadays. So what y'all got to really understand is the fact that Key Glock and them, they just like, okay, we're going to sit back and let them just, eat each other up. Let them fall out and go crazy, because once the feds come in and sweep, it's going to be a ghost town, and Key Glock and them are going to pop out the porch, pop out the woodworks, and they're going to be able to take over Memphis and the whole South really and come together with Gucci Mane, because Gucci Mane really rocked with Young Dolph like heavy. Out of like most people, he was the one that rocked with him the most. At the end of the day, Key Glock and them know that they not going to be able to be touched by CMG, because now with the whole sweep in the Memphis and the feds coming in and everything like that, as soon as they got Big Jook, Key Glock knew PRE didn't have anything to worry about, because how is CMG going to touch PRE when the feds is already watching them over the whole entire RICO case? And just due to the fact that Young Dolph basically never had actually anything that raised red flags to PRE. And so the feds can't touch PRE. And so everything, the only reason that they there is because they looking at what Black Youngster did along with CMG, because he connected to Shondell, Straight Drop, and all of them. And Big Homie G did the diss track with Straight Drop right after Straight Drop got caught up for everything like that when he was on the run. And so what y'all got to understand is that even people that wasn't even around when Young Dolph was coming up and everything, they joined CMG. They joined and became friends with Moneybagg Yo and Yo Gotti. They became friends with Black Youngster and all of these dudes that somehow branched off and connected back to Yo Gotti and CMG. They became friends with them basically just to join in on the beef. Like, they didn't even know. Whatever they got, okay, Yo Gotti gave them some money, and what comes with that bread is basically to where they have to beef with who he beefs with. They have to eat where he eats. They can only eat at privé restaurants. If they get caught eating at another restaurant, then they get kicked off the CMG team and everything. That's why Moneybagg Yo started his second restaurant, because he knows that, oh yeah, you know what? Sometimes they don't want to go to privé to eat. And so he tried to start getting some profits off of it too, by telling them that they got to go and eat at his restaurant and everything. And so basically, all the dudes at CMG was being used as chess pawn pieces, and they was just like throwaways. Basically, they'll use them for something, and if they get caught up for it, then they act like they never knew them, right? And so that's basically how it goes. So while they're telling the dudes, oh, you being loyal to CMG, we gonna reward you, we gonna make sure that we put you on and take care of your peoples and all that. But then at the end of the day, when the feds come and grab them and everybody gets RICO'd and everything like that, once they actually started bringing people in and they booked them in and everything, they got locked up, Yo Gotti and them was nowhere to be found. CMG was nowhere to be found. They didn't even send a law team or nothing like that to help the people get out. And so that's how you know at the end of the day that it's just every man for himself. And if anybody ever tells you that, oh, you get rewarded for your loyalty for doing this or doing that, you can't believe them 100%, because look, even millionaires who say that they got it like that and had a lot on the line, I had a lot to lose and everything like that, they got so much to lose that they had to have somebody else do it. And even when that person does it and they do the job and everything and push comes to shove, they still don't cash out for them or take care of them or even like try to get them out that jam. They just say, we ain't never knew them. This is not connected to me, whatever, right? And so those people end up going away for 100 years just because of the fact that they trusted in and they bought into the system and all that. And so that's why even with rappers and everything, a lot of people just be capping. They just trying to finesse you to do the dirty work so that it don't come back on their name. And so it's the same mentality, it's the same type of street mentality where you put something in somebody else's name and then you go run off on the plug or don't pay that bill or do this or do that, right? And so that's basically what's happening. And so if anybody gets caught up in that and goes down that path, I'm telling people right now, you a fool for that. Don't do that. What you need to do is go get you get your bread up, take care of your family, get your paper up, get your business up, invest, do everything you need to do, take care of your health, wealth, everything like that, because you only got so much time in the world. There's no use for wasting it to be doing other people's dirty work and then come back, it all falls on you and everybody tells on you anyways. And so that's really why people need to open their eyes and really look at the facts of what's going on, because this whole situation is a revolving door. Everything that comes in and out of Memphis is basically going through either, what happened with Yo Gotti and Young Dolph as a connection.